What words describe your first impressions of Lady Macbeth? Give you about 30 more seconds. All right, somebody give me a word. Give me a word. How do we describe Lady Macbeth? You said brave? That's an interesting choice. Why'd you say brave? Okay. Okay. Standing up for herself. That's one way to think about it.
Also aware, knowing like her husband is not the meanest and role he has to play now, she knew that she had to step in because she knew her husband.
Okay, so you said so what I understand you said is she was not just self-aware, but aware of the situation and what needed to be done in order to get where they needed to go.
Yeah.
Fair. Jones? You said what? Humble but cocky. How? Make it make sense.
Because of the note, like, she was like, basically saying, like, she believed it, but she don't think he got what it takes. So she thinks she got what it takes.
Okay, so you said two things. She don't believe that he got what it takes, but she believes that she got what it takes. So that's the cocky part, right? Where's the humility come in?
She accepts that he is.
Okay, so she accepts who he is, and she accepts what he brings to the table. I can see that. Huh?
She accepts that he's like, dang.
Right. I mean, she don't have no choice. Women couldn't hold office back then, so she couldn't be nothing. But to be wife of somebody with that much power is almost to be just as powerful, if not more powerful. And why do you think I say something like that? Especially when we talk about Lady Macbeth. For her to be his wife, he's the one with the title, but she is the one with the power. Why do you think I would say something like that? Look at the dynamic of their relationship. Take a few seconds to think about that. That's actually one of your text-dependent questions. That's about to go in your journal. Speak up, TJ. What? Wait, that's a poem. That's a bar. He says she the brains and he the brawn. He the strength. She got the ideas. She got the plans. She got the mental wherewithal to do what to make the moves to do what needs to be done. But he the one with the physical, you know what I'm saying, strength. Come on, but big bars. Big. I'm writing that down. I'm putting that on the. Hold on. I'm putting that on the. Come on. She got the brain. He got the bronze. She got the plan, but he got the platform. I'm putting that on a sticky note. I'm gonna put it on a small sticky note. Sticky note that big, but I put it on a sticky note because that needs to be. Ooh, that's a word. Come on, this Women's History Month. Ooh, stop playing. Hold on, y'all gonna make me pause. Not y'all got bars today. Y'all got that needs to be in y'all thesis statement when we write about the difference between them two. Yes, I like that. Okay. Who talking about somebody?
There was somebody walking down the hallway with a jersey on, and you could only see one arm.
Who?
That me. I thought that was.
Wait,
I wasn't trying to be mean.
she is.
Why not?
No, I'm not.
Okay. You gotta remember those statements. We gonna use them somewhere. Alright, so we got she cocky, she's brave. We got all these different ideas about who she is. Come on, computer, you can do it, baby girl. So now we want to apply those first thoughts to what the text actually says about her. What the text actually discovers about her. So question number 1 that you're answering in your journal. What can you infer about the relationship between Macbeth and Lady Macbeth based on the context of the letter in Act 1 scene 5? Number 2, what does Lady Macbeth mean when she says, never shall sun that morrow see? Lines 71 through 72. And then number 3, what advice does Lady Macbeth give to Macbeth in Act 1, Scene 5, lines 75 to 76, about how to behave before Duncan dies? I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes to answer those 3 questions. We've already kind of answered question number 1, but yes. So what can we infer about the relationship? We've already kind of answered that. What does Lady Macbeth mean? Well, write it down so you can get credit. What does Lady Macbeth mean when she says, never shall sun that morrow see? Line 71 to 72. And then number 3, what advice does Lady Macbeth give to Macbeth in Act 1, Scene 5, line 75 to 76, about how to behave before Duncan dies?
Everybody saying "arr."
I am confusion. I am confusion.
I say that all the time.
Arr.
I am confusion.
I'm confuzzled. I have
What?
that word. in
No.
my phone.
D.
I don't know. I don't understand.
Line 71 to 73 in Act 5 is on page 35. She says, oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Because before that, she asks, when does he leave? When does Duncan leave? Macbeth says he plans to leave tomorrow. So what does Lady Macbeth mean when she says, never shall sun that morrow see?
Oh.
Wait, say it again.
Oh.
Lady Macbeth asked Macbeth, when is Duncan leaving? Macbeth is like,
I just got
he leaving tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Lady Macbeth says, never shall sun that morrow see.
English.
We just translate. What she saying?
Till I see you again or something like that?
Not quite. Not quite. It's all right. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Remember, we doing this to practice. I'm not expecting perfection. I'm not expecting perfection right now. We still in Act 1. I'm gonna give you guys 2 more minutes. If you can't answer that one, move on to the next. If you can't answer that one, try to answer as many questions as you can. What advice does Lady Macbeth give to Macbeth in Act 1, Scene 5, lines 75 through 76, about how to behave before Duncan dies? Same page, scene 35. She says, bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue, look like the innocent flower. You want page 31, baby? Let's flip right back. So this is where we at. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue, look like the innocent flower. What is she trying to tell him to do? Think of words like welcome and innocent. How does she want him? What advice is she giving Macbeth about how to act before Duncan dies? Think about it. You know
I got cramp.
what they tell shorties when you know what I'm saying, they trying to work together to hit a lick. Oh.
That's all you have to say to them. Keep your mouth shut.
I was just gonna say that. Keep it cool.
Oh my God.
You see, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
go
he
ahead.
had to talk in his language just for him.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm the English teacher.
Right.
That's why I'm the English teacher.
Mr. Johnson would have been like,
Think
you
about it.
got to go. You have to go.
They were like, think about it. Just think about it. I'm not gonna tell you nothing else.
He be like, that's not scholarly.
No, that's the my case. He would have been like,
We saying that all the time. That's not very scholarly.
I feel like y'all been trying to give us AP English next year. I don't like that.
So it's like you
I ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't teach AP.
But you said y'all plan to get it.
You really should.
You should. That's the only way I'm gonna pass that class.
Really?
What?
AP English. She said she's not teaching it.
I don't teach AP.
I feel very
I
like.
want to learn it.
So,
Girl, where you go?
she wants it down.
Oh.
Okay. It's okay. It's all right. We're going to talk about it. So question number 1. What can you infer about the relationship between Macbeth and Lady Macbeth? Let me turn this music down so we can talk. What can we infer about the relationship between Macbeth and Lady Macbeth based on what is said in the letter? What are some ideas that you guys wrote down?
What relationship you said?
Yeah. How does Macbeth feel about his wife?
Man, he picked the right one.
Okay. He feel like he picked the right one. That's a good way to say that.
Get it.
I don't know how to explain it. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I know what you're talking about. You said they 50-50. 50-50 on what? What's her 50? What's his 50?
Like,
Don't do
she
it.
she knows everything for him, and he just like got the
Exactly.
power.
Okay. Okay. TJ, you trying to say something? Just say it. Just say it. Y'all know you got it.
Nah, because I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay, okay. So I definitely feel where y'all coming from as far as them having more of a 50-50 type relationship where responsibility is shared. Do you feel like there's any specific emotions I would say that they have towards each other? Maybe how does Macbeth feel about his wife? Like how when he think about her, what do he feel about her?
Nah, love is good.
Okay, look, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. He feels love.
TJ giving
You think he trusts her?
TJ is giving a hood love story.
All of you said that.
Because this is a hood love story, baby girl.
Wait.
This is a hood love story. What you talking about? That's exactly what it is.
Oh.
Okay? So, when we look at this letter, we see a couple things. An appropriate response to this question would be, the letter shows that Macbeth trusts his wife, and he reports to her the important events that happens in his life, such as the battle where he was successful and the strange appearance of the witches. He refers to his wife as his dearest partner of greatness. He says that in line 11 of scene 5, which suggests that Macbeth and his wife consider one another to be equals. Okay? So y'all said 50-50. That's what y'all already said.
That's his partner in crime.
Exactly. This is not one of those situations. Because this is Shakespeare, right? This is an old, long time ago. And we already know that back then women were viewed as property, women didn't have power, women were not considered. Well, that's not necessarily the case in Shakespeare's Macbeth. Shakespeare intentionally creates a couple where their power is shared, where their respect for one another is shared. It suggests that Macbeth and his wife consider one another to be equals and that they respect and love one another. Macbeth says he does not want Lady Macbeth to lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee, which shows that he wants her to be happy and believes she deserves to share in his success. This is already a very unconventional relationship, okay? You're not going to get relationships like this being written in the 1500s. Because, again, we know historically women were viewed as property. They were viewed as something to be owned. And because their duties were at home, why I was the one in the field, I was the one at war. Why would I give any credit to you? Well, Macbeth don't think that way. Macbeth actually honors his wife.
Because he like, that's my little situation.
That's his little situation. So they already have a very interesting relationship to begin with, where the love and the power is mutual between them. However, we already acknowledged that Lady Macbeth is aware, was the word Simone used, of who her husband is. She ain't stupid. She sees him, and she thinks that while he is very powerful, he doesn't have the evil nature. So, you know, as much as that power and that respect is shared, we might almost feel like she feels like she's a little bit more powerful than him. Moving on to question number 2. What does Lady Macbeth mean when she says, never shall sun that morrow see? Anybody figure that one out? Yes, ma'am, Miss Cunnings.
I said that she means that Duncan will not see the sun tomorrow.
Perfect. Absolutely. Okay. That's exactly what she means. So, and we know that because in the context of the entire conversation, we already knowing that they trying to kill Duncan. They trying to, you know what I'm saying? They trying to off him. So she like, he finna come to the crib. He finna come over. Macbeth don't got the power to do what need to be done. You know what I'm saying? She done already prayed to the spirits and the gods and asked them to turn her into a man so that she could, you know what I'm saying, do what need to be done. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So she said, check it out. It's cool.
right. So when she like, when is Shorty leaving? He like, you know, Macbeth is like, he leaving tomorrow. He ain't thinking she on goofy. He ain't thinking that.
She like, go ahead, do your thing. I'm for the kids, for the money.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Lady Macbeth means that she is committed to murdering Duncan.
Man, she slide. She just can't do the drill.
The sun not even gonna rise on Duncan because he gonna be
He's
dead,
gonna be dead.
right? The sun ain't gonna see tomorrow. What advice does Lady Macbeth to give to Macbeth in Act 1, Scene 5? Yes.
I said that she means not to show a process suspiciousness and be normal and welcoming so they don't respect nothing weird.
Right. Don't be weird. Don't move no different than you usually move because you don't want to, you know, make them raise their eyebrow, right? Keep it pushing, keep it cool, keep it sweet, right? Act like you ain't doing nothing, act like you don't know nothing.
What you doing? I'm eating.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Chill.
They gonna question you, so just keep it cool. Keep y'all don't say nothing. Be like, I don't even know.
Precisely. That is exactly what she is asking him to do. So we see her already pray to the gods that all the femininity, all the nurturing, all the love would be taken from her body so that she can be empowered to do the thing that she thinks her husband can't do or won't do. And all she need her husband to do
Just keep it cool.
is keep it cool. Move regular. Chill. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, we've seen both Macbeth and Lady Macbeth give these soliloquies. I don't know if we remember what soliloquy is from last week. Anybody remember what a soliloquy is?
And then when you're talking out loud to yourself.
Right, when a character in the play talking out loud to themselves, they're revealing those inner thoughts, right? And so when we are paying attention to Lady Macbeth's soliloquy and Macbeth's soliloquy, what's up? We see exactly who they are, right? When Macbeth was first talking to himself, he was like really going back and forth, like, man, this my brother. And remember, Duncan and Macbeth is cousins, they family. So he don't want to off him, he don't want to kill him, but at the same time, he do want to be king, right? So he like literally is torn. He going back and forth.
Man, he got a back door to gas. Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, but it's not like he want to do it. He don't even really want to do it. He really want to do it the right way. And that's what Lady Macbeth said about her husband. She said, like, you want to do this the righteous way. You want the crown to come to you the right way. Well, I'm sorry, baby. She was talking to herself when she was saying it. She wasn't talking to him. You know what I'm saying? But she acknowledged the fact that her husband was the type of dude who wasn't trying to get into all that. He wanted to do it the right way. So at the end of the day, she knew she was going to have to do what it had to do. At no point did she even question. She didn't stutter. In her soliloquy, she was just like, all right, demons, come get me. Turn me into something different. Like, from jump, she was on the board stuff. Okay? Huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
What about the previous one?
It don't really say nothing about her. Because if Duncan, like if they family line is over, it doesn't matter what the women. That's You was gone when we was discussing that. I'm gonna put the text dependent questions back up on the board so you can answer those and you can take that. Take those. Yeah, take a picture and so you can answer it. We answered it in our written journal again. These was the text dependent questions we answered today.
Is that those?
The time is now 9:34. Go ahead and plug up your Chromebooks. I appreciate you guys for your wonderful insights. You guys are amazing.
You are amazing.
Oh.
I never really liked English. I love English, but I never really liked it until this.
I tried.
We should have had
I tried.
She was
Nice, but like we never really talked about nothing. Miss Byrne, I feel like
But you're incredibly good at English. Every time you in this conversation, you understand what's going on. What be happening is you be falling asleep on the test. I done seen you fall asleep on the test, Miss Carter.
Stay awake. I ain't doing as good at English. Everybody else in here is cool at English. It's just me.
What you talking about?
Everybody else in here is cool at English. I ain't never been good at English.
TJ.
I'm telling you.
TJ.
I ain't never had nothing
TJ.
above a D in English. Every
TJ.
year, every school year.
That has less to do with your skill and more to do with your completion of work. You are incredibly skilled. You are incredibly intelligent. You just don't be turning in your work. So it's not that you're not good at English. You just don't want to do the homework, which is your business. But it has nothing to do with your actual skill level. Clearly, you are able to connect what is happening in a text to what's happening in the real world. And making those connections is a literary skill. You're not stupid. Stop saying that. Let go of that. You are not dumb in English. You are not stupid in English. Let go of that today. We're done believing that. We're leaving that in 8th grade. We're leaving that in freshman year. We're done with that. Okay?
When you see me, I'm white. Why you pointing at me?
April, where you been at? So it's like you come to
But
school.
I appreciate the kind
Next day, you
gesture.
don't come to school.